What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Creative James Media YouTube channel. We have another wonderful interview with you to kick off the year here for us, content-wise. Today, we're talking to Mr. Sean Frazier. He is the author of the Mage Breaker Series, last available, and I believe is Sean the Forgotten Years
Correct.
is your other
Yep.
series.
Yep.
And so we're going to talk a little bit about his writing process, his books, and many other things. So, without further ado, Sean, how are you?
I'm cold. I'm cold, Matt. I'm really cold.
I know the feeling. It's the same thing here.
I think I've lost a foot to frostbite. I'm not gonna lie. My cat's eating it. It's bad. It's terrible.
If it's Thor, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
He's probably at it again doing something else.
He ran off with it. I don't know where it is.
Probably under the table.
Most likely.
For those who don't really know much about you, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit?
Okay. Well, I'm a fantasy author, Sean R. Frazier. We just listed off all my books. I got the Forgotten Years. It was my first series. We've got Mage Breaker, which was my second series, and then we've got The Last Available, which is my standalone idiot book. I like to play video games, run, dabble in archery, go to work as they require, which is every day of the week except for Saturday and Sunday, like most people. I have a genuine lack of seriousness. And I have a cat named Thor who's eating my foot, apparently.
Since you've written a handful of books, out of all of them, which would you say is your favorite?
Yeah.
If you could pick one.
So, I mean, this is like asking me what my favorite movie is. I have a favorite for different reasons.
Right.
Like The Call of Chaos was my first book. I worked on that book for literally 20 years. So, I mean, your first book is often your favorite because it's like, oh my gosh, I've got a book. But then Mage Breaker, the first Mage Breaker, that's a foray into a totally different genre. Well, not totally different. It's still fantasy, but it's urban fantasy or science fantasy or whatever you want to call it. And you know what? I kind of love the themes in those books, found family, screw the government, that, those types of things. And then The Last Available was where I could actually be me. Literally, if I was telling you a story about 6 idiots trying to save the world, that's how I would do it. You can just listen, you can read that book and it's me telling you a story. So I guess The Call of Chaos is probably my favorite just because that was my first book. I self-published that series. I worked my butt off for them. They're not perfect. Mostly the formatting's not the best, but whatever. But I love that book dearly. That book was rewritten 3 times, written once and rewritten twice. And yeah, I really poured my life into that one.
Well, I think that's the thing about first books, though, and I experienced this myself doing my first one, was you learn.
You better.
It's a learn. Yeah. If you don't, you should reevaluate just a little bit to see what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you read all of my books straight through, first of all, get some rest, drink some water, but second, you would see the evolution of my writing in each one. I don't count The Last Available because it's not supposed to be, it's not quality literature. You don't sit down and debate this in a college class. You read it for the fart jokes and your mom jokes and the silly puns. So I don't think that was an evolution of my writing per se, except that it allowed me to step outside of what I'm normally doing.
Right.
And I'm not saying it's poorly written by any means. It just doesn't have the same constructs in the text that the other books do. But you will see my writing evolves. Like I even see it. So it's nice to know that, yes, it's like, oh, wow, this is a little rough, or, oh, wow, I did that. That's really cool.
Yeah. I have the same, I've been having the same revelations as of late too, because I'm writing a book with Vicky. Yeah, it's a paranormal crime. So I'm bringing in my crime writing and my experience, and she's bringing in the paranormal, and we're writing one.
That's awesome.
epic book if we can.
I tip my non-existent hat to you, because I've been just a couple of authors were like, hey, do you want to write a book together? I can't. I don't think I can do it. I really don't.
So it was on my writing bucket list, and I had been searching for a long time. I was like, okay, I know exactly the kind of things that I want to write. I don't want to veer outside of my comfort if I'm going to be pairing with somebody. And I just had this idea, and I went to Vicky and I said, hey, so by chance, would you want to write, a paranormal crime book set in the 1970s with me? And she's like, yeah.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Nice. That'll be fun.
Yeah,
that sounds fun.
I think as of today, we just pushed over almost 50,000 on it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we're getting there.
That's awesome. Should be interviewing you. So, Matt, let me tell you.
Yeah. I mean, might as well. Sometimes it makes for good TV, as they call it. How is the progress on Mage Breaker 3 coming along?
Oh, I'm supposed to be writing a third book? What?
Come on, man.
Why am I always the last to know these things?
I thought I sent out the email. Okay.
Right, let me open up my word processor. No. So it's actually in the hands of my editor. I asked her if she wanted, I made my cursory pass of spelling and grammar and picked out a few things. I didn't actually reread through it like I normally do, because I was really coming up against the deadline. So I asked her, hey, it's probably still a little rough, but do you want the book now, or do you want me to try to polish it a little bit? And her response was, well, I'm snowed in and having a new book to read would be great. So I was like, okay, here you go. So it is in her hands. She's currently probably tearing it apart. Lots of red ink. And I will hopefully get it back in a week or two, and I can start the real work, I guess.
So this one you've probably been asked a million times, though, and I think I probably asked you in other interviews, but would you say you're more of a plotter or a pantser?
More of a pantser, for sure. My method is the same as it's always been, which is I just start writing, but I will have certain big plot points throughout that I know I want to do. Most of those happen. Some other plot points usually work their way in, but at some point writing it, I'll get the end. I'll figure out what the ending is going to be, and then I plot that. Especially when it's the last book of a series, I can't pants that. And it took a good half of this book before I really nailed what the ending was going to be. I knew kind of what was going to happen, but it all came together. I wasn't in the shower. That does happen sometimes. And I was not running. I don't remember what I was doing, but my brain was like, hey, here. And I went, perfect. And I didn't forget it. I didn't write it down because I couldn't, but not at the time, but it was perfect. And I wrote it down when I could. And, I think I stuck the landing on this one. Endings and me are kind of it's good. I think this ending's good, but I don't know if I stuck, it's I don't know. Nobody's complained about really. Well, one person did, but in a good way, for the Forgotten Years, but no one's ever been like, oh, I hated the ending. So I think I've done a decent job, but with this one, I think literally I nailed it. So I'm super happy with the third Mage Breaker, how it turned out.
I can't remember if we've ever talked about this, but with the Mage Breaker series, is it a series where you have to read each book in order to get a clear picture, or did you bring each book to a concise end? So if somebody say can't get a hold of 2 and 3 when it comes out, they still have a completed story that they can read.
The first book is largely self-contained. I actually wrote it before I knew I was going to write another book. If you read through the first book and don't read the epilogue, then you have a perfectly self-contained story. You can skip the other 2 books and you will be happy. If you decide to keep going and you read the epilogue and you're like, what the hell? The second book is also written kind of in the way that it will catch you up. So if you didn't read the first one, there is a lot, and it's not just an info dump. It's through the story that you learn. You will actually reminisce about things that happened in the first book. So technically, you could read the second one, but then you've got to read the third one, because the second one definitely ends with knowledge that there is a third one.
Right. Yeah, I can't remember if I'd ever asked you that before, because I know some people are really good about that, and they'll be like, okay, no, all three are self-contained. You can read them and not have to read the other. You're not going to be missing anything.
Yeah.
And some
Yeah.
people have to continue their story.
I had intended the first one to be just its own book. But then our publisher was like, hey, you going to write any more? And I was like, well, I can, because I do have ideas. And then there were people who were beta reading. Yeah, beta reading, because I obviously hadn't completed it yet. The first one, and they literally, several of them asked me, so what, like, is there more? And I'm like, well, yeah, I could write an epilogue and you would get it. And they're like, yes, do that. And so then I wrote the epilogue, but then I'm like, well, now there has to be a second book, because this epilogue really leaves it open.
Right.
It's not really a cliffhanger, and you can still read even the epilogue and just be like, okay, cool, done, whatever. But it definitely is kind of like, oh, there's going to be more.
Right. This is a difficult one for you, I know, probably. If you could have a conversation with any character from any of your books, who would it be and why?
Probably would not be anyone from the last available, because most likely I'd be robbed, stabbed, eaten, or just left for dead. So probably not them. To be fair, any character in the books, probably Alenia from Mage Breaker, actually. She is one of my, she's kind of one of my faves, to be honest. She was originally, when I was going to write Mage Breaker, she was going to be a dude. And I started thinking about it. I started writing it, and I'm like, this doesn't work. It's just not working. Like, there's something wrong here. And so I kind of switched over. I kept that, but then I kind of switched over and started writing it from her, from her perspective. And I'm like, this is clicking way better. But I need to make sure that I can, and there are several women characters in the Forgotten Years that I definitely wanted to make sure I treated them properly. But Forgotten Years had several main characters, and it switched back and forth between them. And this was only from her, but Mage Breaker was going to be only from Alenia's point of view. And so I know I was like, I need to nail this and make sure it's right. But honestly, yeah, I could hang with her for a while. I'd probably have fun. I might get in a bar fight or two. But it'd be fun.
I mean, honestly, you'd probably get in a bar fight in the last available too, but
that's why I'm not hanging with any of them. They're going to get me in a bar fight, and then they're going to leave, and I'm going to have to pay their tab.
Just some friends,
Oh, they're the worst.
Who are would you say are some of your favorite authors to read?
So to be honest, like Stephen King way back in the day, I have not read any of his stuff for a while. I think Needful Things might have been the last book I read, but like his Skeleton, I think it was Skeleton Crew short story book. That really got me into writing. I mean, literally, I was reading it and I'm like, this is really cool. Like, the stuff he's come up with in this book is just really cool. I want to do that. So he still holds a place in my heart. I like Travis Baldree. I really like Legends and Lattes, because it's like low risk. It's almost zero risk. It's just fun, cozy, nothing serious is going to happen. You don't have to worry, oh my God, is that person going to die? And I just really enjoy his writing, because it's very whimsical. And then I guess probably Brandon Sanderson. I can't not include him. That man can finish a series better than anyone I've ever seen. Like, he throws so many chaotic elements into books, and then when you get to that last 2 paragraphs of the last book, and you're like, oh my God, I didn't know that was coming. So yeah, I mean, those are three of them.
Because I was gonna say, I know some people tell me that, as authors themselves and, full-time daytime jobs, they just don't have the kind of time to read like they want
I
to.
don't either. I definitely do not. And it bugs me to no end. And I mean, I know a lot of writers, a lot of authors, a lot of big name authors be like, you have to read every day and write every day. And I don't believe that. I think that's total garbage. I do think prolifically reading can help you. For me, if I'm talking about writing is what helps me. Like, yes, I can read and it's cool and all, but like writing and then rewriting or writing another book. I mean, again, my writing progresses. It gets better, I think. I do wish I could read more, but my attention span is poofity poof over here. I've been reading Dungeon Crawler Carl, and I'm only on chapter 3, and I started a month ago. So I'm getting there. I'll read it. It'll get done. But like, I read a chapter and set it down. That's literally how I read. My wife read 260 books last year.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, it's like ridiculous. It's somewhere around there. It's somewhere in the mid 200s, but I don't expect to ever be like that because I can't afford that. But I don't know. I have to cook dinner. I have to corral the pets and feed them. I'm cleaning and stuff like that. I do a lot of that. I work the day job. But when I sit down to relax, my brain is usually cooked. So staring at a wall for me is sometimes just like, oh my God, this is a great wall. I'll play a video game, something that can get my juices going. Maybe watch something on TV that's mindless that I don't have to pay attention to. But I would do audiobooks, but I'm not in a spot consistently where I could listen to it.
Right.
Like I can't listen to it at work because I'm too busy focusing on work. And if I do that, then I'm not going to be paying attention to the audiobook. And if I pay attention to the audiobook, then I'm going to get fired. I don't drive. My commute's not very long, so it would take me a long time to finish an audiobook. So yes, it is my lament. Being an author, I do not read as much as I should, as much as I feel I should. Like, I'd like to get 10 books a year, but that doesn't even usually happen.
Right. Yeah, I know exactly how you feel because I have such a long list, and between writing my books and talking to people about their books, and
yeah,
I have people all the time. They're like, "Hey, did you get a chance to read my book?" And I'm like, no. And they're like, "Well, it's been several months." And I'm like, "Look,
yeah,
I'm writing my own book. I work for a publisher. If
yeah.
I don't have time."
I did an ARC read for a fellow author friend late last year, and that is when I will actually plow through a book. The problem is I know I have to.
Right.
Like, you are expecting a review in X number of days, X number of months, weeks, or whatever. And so it's like, I got to sit down and read this book. I have to. I promised you I'd do it, this is why I don't ARC read very often. I wish I could, because there's so much cool stuff coming out.
Right.
But I can't guarantee that I'm going to get that review. that I'm going to finish it and get that review up remotely in time for anywhere near your release, 2 months after release, 1 month before release, anywhere. Right. So I don't enjoy, and don't put myself in the position to not carry that promise. Right. So yeah, when people are like, "Hey, would you ARC me to write a book?" I'm like, sorry, I've got a thing.
Right.
Sometimes I will, but yeah.
Yeah, I think I asked you to ARC mine, I think, and you're like, I have too much stuff.
It, and I hate to do it. I really hate to, because I love to support fellow authors. I absolutely do. I just can't stick with it that much. It's like I feel like I'm under pressure because I want to get it done for that person. I said I would, but it's still like, oh, look at this needs to be done, and this needs to be done, and over here, and now I have to go to work, and I want to play a video game, and now I need to write, or that type of thing. And it's just like, I feel like I'm a dog and I just saw 5 squirrels. Squirrel, 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 So I love it that people ask. I want them to keep asking because one of these days I'll probably surprise each one of them. But I don't make commitments I can't keep.
Right. Yeah. And I admire that because a lot of people won't. They'll be like, oh, yeah, I'll do it. And then 3 months later, you're like,
yeah,
I hate to be that person, but did you read it or?
Yep. Yeah. I think with every book I get like 20 to 25 are readers who are like, yes, yes, yes. And then I get like 8 responses. Yeah. And I'm just like, I get it. It's a hit and miss. You just spam it out there with a shotgun. And if you get a third of it back, cool.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to be an author. Like it's tough. It's not like listen to my album, because that'll take you 45 minutes in a car ride, or watch my my movie or part of my movie or whatever. It's like, hey, sit down and read these words, please. And don't get distracted and give me a review. It's hard.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that's just part of it too. And it's more difficult if you have a family, you have kids, or a high stress job that takes a lot of your time.
Yeah.
So it just varies from person to person.
Yep.
How long?
Wait. Shout out though to the several readers who are always there for me. You know who you are, and you've got another arc coming soon.
How long on average would you say that it takes you to write your first draft of books? Are you?
So that is probably entirely seasonal dependent. And I say that knowing full well, but forgetting every damn year that October to January is my slowest time. First of all, I'm a fall fan. I love fall. Favorite season. I love Halloween. I'm totally psyched in that arena, but my creativity just goes away, and it takes me like 2 to 3 times longer during October through January to actually be productive. Right. And I only usually write once a week. I go to a coffee shop Saturday morning, hammer out some words. Usually Sunday now I've taken to keeping the document open on my computer at home. And I just I'm playing a video game. And once I stop, I'll be like, type out a few sentences and move on and do something else. That's actually proven very useful. It's actually worked out really well, but I usually only write once a week in the morning on Saturdays. And that's pretty much it. I can't write during the week because when I get home from work, I'm just spent. I used to do that, and oh my God, that's why I rewrote the Call of Chaos twice. It turns out garbage. It's just like squeezing my brain for any words possible, and I come out with words that aren't words.
Right.
So it after about January, February through September-ish, I'm on it. If I can crank out words in that one writing session pretty well. So yeah, that's literally it takes me, let's see, I think this next and last Mage Breaker book, about a year. I'd say each book, if I get to focus on one, is about a year. I was technically writing this book in tandem with another super secret project that I can't talk about right now. Nobody knows. And that it's going to have to be rewritten. But anyways, if I'm writing 2 at once, yeah, it takes a bit longer because I usually have a side project going and it's like, I cannot do this one right now. Let's bring this one over. And, that's a good break.
Yeah. I had that with my first one. I was actually writing another project that I ended up scrapping. And I was like, I found it, at first I found it hard, but then I was like, if I don't have something for this one, I probably have an idea where to go on the other one. So I just bounce back and forth. So you're still being productive and still kind of taking the time to get your writing juices flowing and kind of keeping your rhythm.
I mean, Mage Breaker itself, the first one was a side project. The last available was a side project. So Mage Breaker was a side project between the second and third Forgotten Years books. The last available was a side project between the first and second Mage Breaker books. So you know, I usually have a side project going, and it's usually pretty good after I get to it.
Yeah, when we dropped the last available, I was really surprised. I was like, I was expecting Mage Breaker 1, 2, 3, and then something else, not one and then a different book, and then
I had to back off of Mage Breaker for a little while because I released the first Mage Breaker was in November. I don't remember what year. The last available was in March of the next year, and then the second Mage Breaker was in that August. So like, yeah, I was like, oh God, this is a lot. And that was 3 books within one 12-month period.
yeah.
So that's why it's taken a little bit longer for this one, is because I just kind of backed off. This particular new Mage Breaker book has probably been a year and a half, just because I kind of took it slow.
Yeah, sometimes you have to, though. Outside of writing, what are some of your favorite hobbies?
Well, I love playing video games, as I've mentioned those a few times. Reading when I get a chance. I've got a recurve bow that I like to shoot at a target out back occasionally. A couple of arrows have ended up in the neighbor's yard and never to be seen again. I like to run for exercise and for clearing my mind and for fun. And yes, I know a lot of people don't run. I get it. If I see you running, there's something chasing you. I've heard that one a million times. I like to run. Some people like to lift. Some people like to swim. I like to run. Not working is a good hobby. That's one of my favorites. Obviously, writing. Until it pays the bills, I consider it a hobby.
Fair enough.
Because it's technically my passion, but it doesn't pay the bills. So it's not really a side gig. I guess it's a hobby. I've got a 3D printer. I like to mess with that. Do some fantasy and book related crafts when I make the circuit in the summer on different author events. Board games, role-playing games. I don't have a game group, but if ever, someone was like, we need another person, I'll be like, yes. Yeah, all the nerdy stuff, pretty much.
Are you still making the little dumpster fires with raccoons, I think, that were in there?
I might have one. I think. Oh, yeah. Here's one.
Yep, there they are.
I had possums. Those actually sold out, and since it's not 2025 anymore, I figured I'd be done with those and maybe already need to make it 2026.
Yeah, we definitely do. I would be remiss if I didn't ask about all of the pets, especially King Thor of the House Avocado.
Rightful king of Asgard. Yep. So the pets are fine. I mean, they're doing their thing. Olive is our newest dog. We got her from the Humane Society because she and her sibling and her, we think, mother were dumped, as far as we know. They'd been on their own for a while. Fleas, ticks, ringworm. It's great stuff. Not ringworm. Hookworm.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, and our big boy Winston had just passed. And our Westie Dilly we were like, she needs a playmate. She's bored. And so we got Olive, who we thought was a schnoodle. We're like, oh, we got a designer mutt from the Humane Society. Great. We don't really care, but okay. But, we got her cleaned up and she has boundless energy. She never sleeps, I think. But then we went ahead and we're like, you know what? Let's do a DNA test because why not? Right? Let's see what this dog is made of. Not a schnoodle. Let's see. Poodle and Terrier were the 2 lowest at like 6% each. 56.7% Border Collie, which means that's why she never sleeps. That's why she has boundless energy and she gets bored. So we love her to death. She is bright. She's very smart, but we're having to kind of make sure we give her the attention that she needs, or else she goes nuts.
Yeah, Border Collies. We had a couple of those when I was a kid, and they are high energy dogs.
You have to have a large area for them to run outside. You have to have things for them to do. We don't really have. We've got a decent backyard. she will play ball until she drops dead, probably. Not right now because there's 5 inches of snow out there and it's 15 degrees probably. But she is always going nonstop. She just likes to run. I just see her running back and forth in the yard. Just she'll disappear, and then 5 seconds later, she runs the other way. She's a handful. I'm glad she's not more than 56.7% border collie, but that's enough. That's plenty.
Right. For the last few questions, I'm going to do something a little different here, something that I haven't done. I'm going to do some rapid fire questions. I'm going to give you a this or that, and just tell me which is your favorite off the top of your head without putting a ton of thought into it.
I'll try to do that.
We're going to start off with coffee or tea?
Coffee, of course.
DC or Marvel?
Marvel.
Your favorite meal?
Hot wings.
Morning or late night writing sessions?
Morning. We know what happened with late night writing sessions. That was the 2 rewrites. Don't even get me started.
Movie theater popcorn or store-bought popcorn?
Movie theater popcorn. Hands down. Give me the fake butter. Dump it on there. Clog my arteries. Take me, Lord.
I knew that was going to be your answer.
Yep.
Favorite time of the day to run?
Morning. Late morning.
And finally, your choice to cook, air fryer or oven?
Oh. I mean, I use the air fryer more. I'm a quick, instant gratification, throw it in the air fryer. Unbeatable. I don't have a convection oven. If I did, then it wouldn't be fair because it'd be like same thing. But yeah,
right.
No, air fryer. Air fryers are magical.
Right? I love them.
Yeah, they're literally the best thing I bought in the last 5 minutes.
One thing that I'm sad about is we don't have enough counter space to have it out all the time, so we have to tuck it away.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I'll forget about it. And then I'll be like,
shame.
I know. It's so bad.
It's a shame.
Before we close out this evening, do you have any other interviews or signings or anything coming up that you want to share with everybody?
I do not have anything going on. I usually, I'll have a company thing. My employer likes to put on a sip and shop a couple times a year to showcase employees' skills, and they can sell their stuff. It's really cool. So I'm doing that, but that's not for the public. My next event will be in June, maybe May. I just usually take time off because it can get really, really exhausting. So yeah, no signings, no events, no nothing. Working on books.
That's the way to do it when it's cold outside, let me tell you.
Yeah, I mean, there's another. Why leave the house except for the day job, of course.
Exactly. That's just stay as warm as you can inside and call it good.
Big fuzzy socks, Ren and Stimpy blanket.
Exactly. Well, Sean, thank you for taking some time to talk with me this evening. I really appreciate it. And
I do want to say one more thing.
Yes.
Not that I don't really think anyone's been, oh my God, what is it? But I've kept the third Mage Breaker title to myself for no other reason than I'm a drama queen. Really. I just like to type out Mage Breaker : redacted. And literally, I wish I could name the book that now. Just call it Mage Breaker Redacted. And everybody be like, oh my God, he punked us. But that is not the title. So first there was Mage Breaker, and then there was Mage Breaker 8 Bullets. The third Mage Breaker will be titled Mage Breaker Reckoning.
Ooh. Okay.
The end.
See, if you did name it Redacted, I could really see you doing that just to mess with people.
I want to make up some fake book jackets for hardcovers. I mean, I don't know if it'll have a hardcover, but I totally want to do that and just be like, this is the title. Here you go.
That would be
have the
that's
book.
So your style.
And I'd be like, you son of a bitch. You had that, yeah. Somebody did suggest that at one point. I was like, you get me.
Right. All right, man. Keep warm, and thanks for coming to chat tonight.
Hey, yeah, you too. Keep warm and go to California. You're
right?
colder than I am. Jeez.
All right, we'll see you.
Take it easy.